Hello, and welcome to Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. I'm Susie Parker Goins. I'm a channel, healer, past life explorer, teacher, and guide. My links are in the description box for podcasts, financial support, and contact information. So please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, favorite, do the things. Thanks. I upload on Mondays and Thursdays, and the best way to contact me is through email at susiepgoins@gmail.com. Thanks for your support. So today, I want to talk about energy healing. First off, what is energy? In general, energy is defined as the power or capacity to do work. It's expended as in a variety of forms, such as light, heat, sound, etc. And in relation to spiritual healing, energy is defined as life force, chi, ki, prana, etc. And it's what makes up the totality of the universe. Energy can be manipulated as in worked with, moved, directed, blocked, shifted. It takes on many forms. And then the lower the vibration of an object or of the energy, the denser the object is, the more contracted it is. Conversely, the higher the vibration of the energy, the less tangible, the more expanded a thing is. So a desk has a lower vibration than, say, light. Okay, so energy healing focuses on the higher vibrational realms. The modalities I'll be talking about today usually come from a place of taking care of the client's energy field before anything manifests physically. Have you ever joined in prayer? That for one thing is intensely focused intention. Folks are always asking for good juju or mojo or thoughts. They're all the time. Whether somebody has a job interview or their pet's not doing well or there's a situation they want to change in the world. Everyone who responds to that request is manipulating energy to achieve a desired income. They're directing that energy. Okay? But energy takes on a lot more forms than just prayer. I'm going to tick off a few, and this is by no means exhaustive. It's not a complete list. Ready? Okay. There's Reiki, therapeutic touch, healing touch, pranic healing, chakra balancing, aura cleansing, qigong, tai chi, acupressure, acupuncture, meridian healing, crystals, meditation, polarity balancing, psychic surgery, and more. So a lot of practitioners will have training and certificates for a variety of modalities, but not all of them require a certificate. I've done sessions where I've come back after channeling and the client or clients are looking at me like, I didn't know you could do that. Neither did I. Cool. So I have received training from my spirit guides. And by the way, they do not give you certificates. They don't give you diplomas when you learn from Source. And of course, that's a whole nother podcast, is finding your gifts. But that's not something else. Okay, back on track. Having a certificate does not mean you're not able to use energy for healing. It means you don't have another frame on your wall. Okay. There are so many modalities that do have legal requirements, however. Counseling and hypnotherapy have certification and state standard requirements. And a lot of psychics have been ordained, which allows you to practice a lot of other modalities, the touch modalities. And it also gets you great parking at a hospital. It's $3, but hey. In choosing a practitioner, I do have a previous podcast about my set of ethics, and I can put that link in the box if you want. But just in a nutshell, right here, here's an opportunity for you to listen to your intuition. You talk to a practitioner. Most of them will be happy to say, sure, yeah, 15 minutes, yeah, let's chat and see what's going on. And as you talk to them, tune into how you're feeling. How do you feel, first off? Do you feel seen? Do you feel heard? Do you feel safe or not? And trust what your intuition says. I'm pointing a finger at you now, wagging the finger. Trust your intuition. If you hear it, it's your intuition, so you can trust it. Okay, so now I want to try and do like 3 or 4 categories of modalities, and I'm trying to figure out how to put them in. It's still going to be touching on generalities, and then on Monday, I'm going to do not really a meditation, but I'm going to teach you a technique in order to learn to play with energy. I'm looking forward to that. That's always fun. Okay, so back on track again. First category is going to be touch, no touch. And that includes Reiki and pranic healing, healing touch, and therapeutic touch. And these modalities use a form of directed healing, directed energy, so that you can clear blockages, which then promotes healing. Practitioners can call upon divine or source, whatever you want to call it, and they channel the energy through their hands. See? And the healing action then works on the energy body. Okay, so first off, Usui Reiki is the foremost form of Reiki. That's the one a lot of people know about. It was founded by Mikao Usui, a doctor, at the beginning of in the early part of the 20th century. And it requires attunements that are passed on by a master. And that is one who has been trained and has studied the 3 or 4 levels, depending on which form of Reiki they look at. So that's what you consider the training. The Reiki attunements include self-care, Reikify and other people are doing remote healing, and learning the mastery, learning how to send the symbols that are required in attunements. And there's a lot of other stuff in there. It depends on the practitioner, the master you're learning from. It can be hands-on or hands-off. And it's not like massage. You stay clothed. So unlike massage, you remain clothed. And there are thousands, and really I am not kidding about that number, there are thousands of flavors of Reiki, different systems. Many practitioners will channel their own aspect of it. Some have actually re-channeled Reiki systems because of some sort of infighting. A lot of them, some systems require you to be an Usui master. There are a lot of free attunements. Some ask for payment, and some are even trademarked. But being a rogue Reiki master myself, I don't know where my certificate is. I was very un-Reiki and kind of threw everything out when somebody disagreed with me or I disagreed with them. So I could teach it because I am a Reiki master, but in deference to those folks who make a living at it and to honor that tradition, I choose not to publicize it. But it doesn't mean I won't, but I will be full disclosure when I teach somebody, saying, look, you're not going to get a lineage, you're not going to get a certificate, but I'll still do the thing. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay by me. Other people are not okay. Other people are. Okay, focus. Okay. Next is pranic healing, and that comes from the Philippines. It's resulted from its movement to America resulted between a conversation, just kind of off the cuff in 1988, between the Philippine master and a guy here in the States. And like Reiki, it's clothes on, hands off. A practitioner, though, calls in the elements of sun, air, and earth. Now, the way I've done it is to call it in through my left hand, which is my receiving hand, and project it to the area I want to focus on with my right hand, which is my projecting hand. So my left hand is my receiving hand, if I didn't say that right. My right hand is the projecting hand. So I think it could be dominant, whatever hand is dominant. But it does require some training. And I don't think it has attunement so much, but, I've read a book, and you can go to classes. And I'm happy to have somebody correct me on that if I'm completely wrong. Next is healing touch. Healing touch was introduced in 1998 by Janet Mentgen, Mentgem. She's American. Like the name says, touch is involved. She's a nurse, and she was holistically oriented. That's a good word, I guess. It's a modality that's taught to and used by nurses and other healthcare practitioners or professionals, which I think is totally cool because you can find it in long-term care facilities and hospice and in integrative clinics. It does require a lot of training and a commitment to follow their code of ethics and standards of practice. I mean, sure, why not? It's even endorsed by the American Holistic Nurses Association and the National Certification Board for Massage Therapy and Bodywork. Pretty cool, huh? And then in this section, we've got the last one in this section is therapeutic touch. It was developed in the early 70s by a clairvoyant healer and by a nurse. So it still has that medical aspect to it. So it's also practiced by health professionals. It's another hands-off, close-on modality that recognizes that healing happens in the energetic body, and the flow of energy enhances healing. So while Reiki and pranic healers usually let their hands hover over an area, therapeutic touch practitioners can sweep across and ruffle. I think that's what it's called, ruffling. And then if they feel called to, because you're listening to intention during all of this, they can lay their hands on an area that needs assistance or focus. All right, so next category is median-focused healing. So we're talking acupuncture, acupressure, and I believe reflexology, among others. So the concepts of the meridians, it comes from traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM. And meridians are channels that run throughout your body, and energy flows. That's where the energy flows, is through these meridians, and you can have blockages there. And that's where you get physical ailments. Free-flowing energy, again, it results in health and vitality. So acupuncture is highly regarded, and it's a modality which thin needles are inserted into the body at precisely mapped points. Then, the result is unblocked meridians, and that prompts a free flow of energy again, which leads to healing. It's effective for pain relief and for stress reduction, stress management. I have experienced acupuncture a lot, several times. I don't know. I really am on the fence about it. I don't think it's the healing modality for me. And I think that's the beauty of energy healing, is that there are so many different kinds of modalities. You can find the one that works for you. I don't think it worked for me at that time. I'm sorry if I hit my mic. But of course I have friends who are just, it's the bomb. It's the greatest thing ever. So, you got to do what you got to do. Acupuncturists are required to take like 3,000 hours of instruction and then have continuing education units every year. There's a guy here in town who does community acupuncture every Wednesday night to help support the community. I think that's totally cool. And that was another time when I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. Okay, anyway. Next up is acupressure. And that's similar to acupuncture in that it uses meridians and and points, mapped out points, but they use, it's in the name, pressure. So they use their thumb, they use fingers. I've read they can use elbows to apply pressure to these points to unblock meridians and release the energy flow. There's the bonus modality of reflexology, and that uses the map of the body that's in your feet. I think there's some in your hands and in your ears. I know there are acupuncture points in your ears. I've done that. That was interesting to watch everybody look. But and I know your face is also sort of a map of the body. With you can put pressure on a point, and it affects that particular body part. Same premise though. You put pressure on it, you release the blockage, increase energy flow. Okay, and I think, is this my last one? Nope. Next category is energy balancing. And this is going to kind of all slop together because we're talking chakras, chakras, I think is the way I've been corrected to say it, auras, and color balancing. So the chakras are the energy centers all around your body. There are 7 main ones that most everybody knows about. When I was teaching my kids about chakras, I called them their inner rainbow. But there are at least, by last count, like 108 chakras around, below and above the body and on the body. Yeah, and that's a whole nother series too to talk about those. But the main 7 chakras do, in fact, have colors, affirmations, or sounds that you can associate with them. So starting at the end of your spine, real fast, starting at the bottom of your spine is the root chakra, and that one's red. Up into the reproductive area is the orange chakra, the sacral, and then orange yellow is the solar plexus, which is just under your ribs. Green is your heart, blue is the throat. The pineal gland, or the third eye, is here, and that is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. So that's indigo. And then the crown chakra is violet, and that comes out the top of your head. They tie into various parts of your body, not only where they reside, in those areas in which they reside. And deficiencies or an imbalance in the chakra can relate to issues in your life. So a wonky root chakra can mean that you're not grounded or connected to Mother Earth. If you're anxious all the time, if you have that fight or flight feeling about you, you can ask to balance your root chakra. The solar plexus concerns your self-confidence. I found that because I hold weight in that area, there's some confidence issues I could work on, I could release. It's protection around there. And then the heart is, of course, about heart and love, self-love too. The throat, it's about communication. So if you have sore throats, I had a friend of mine in college, Doug. He was the one who introduced me to chakras, and he said, "Oh, I have a sore throat. Okay, here, have some salt water." He went, "No, I'll just wear a blue scarf." It's like, what? So the color blue, you're enhancing that. It was totally cool. The pineal, the third eye, is about perception, and then the crown chakra is your connection with spirit. Blockages of any of these can manifest and be an indicator of an imbalance in your body. And you can use meditation or color, like I just described with dear friend Doug. Pendulums are cool. They can tell you which way they're spinning, or you can ask for the pendulum to clear it or to unblock it or whatever. Pendulums are cool. Yep, another thing. But you can use those methods to heal your chakras. So every living thing emits an aura. Carillion or aura photography can show that, has documented it. An aura can either be seen not only with this special equipment, but some people can actually see the colors. I can sense the auras and get a feel for it, but that's me. An aura does have colors. You can see it in color, and black and white are color. So let me restate that. An aura is seen in colors, but not necessarily the chakra colors. all kinds of colors. And they're not limited to the area a chakra resides at. So you can have an aura around your head, out your hand, your whole body has the aura because your whole body is enveloped in that energy field. What was it? There was once I was doing an event in which I was channeling quite a bit. So I was really connected with spirit, and there was a woman there who had an aura photography machine there. You could see it. And so we hooked me up to it however I needed to. And we were both surprised to see how much white was in my aura around my head and neck. But if you think about it, that's not surprising because I had been channeling for an hour and a half or so. And then when I went back to her place of business, I did the check again, and I hadn't been channeling. I had just gotten out of a Tai Chi class with her, and I saw yellows and reds and more grounded colors in it. So the aura changes colors. That's really cool. But think about it. Okay, so here's another way to look at colors. Are there colors that evoke a response in you? That could be an indicator that you could use another. If you're feeling upset, you could use a color that calms you to help you calm down. What colors do you wear that look good on you? That's an indicator for what your aura looks like. It's really cool. Color therapy, same thing. I kind of referenced that. If you are feeling anxious, use a soothing color. You can wear a scarf. Like I need more reasons to buy fabric or a scarf to wrap on me. But, blue for the throat, whatever you want to enhance. And finally, we've got movement therapies. When one has stuck energy, movement can mean more than just help at the energetic level. Like when you exercise, your energy, your physical energy increases. So when you're doing these different kinds of modalities that have an intention of moving energy, that helps too. Let's see, I've got to check my script again. There are several energy-specific practices, and again, this is not the complete list, but there's Tai Chi, Qigong, and Yoga. And Qi, whether it's spelled C-H-I or Q-I, it depends on what country of origin. So C-H-I is from China, and Q-I is from Japan. But it's still talking about life force. Reiki, the last part of it is Ki, but it's still life force. And prana originates in India, and it's used in Ayurveda. So these modalities use movements and postures to relax, stretch, and open your body to release the blockages. Tai Chi started out as a martial art. I thought that was cool. The movements are defensive in nature. And part of the process they have there is that when someone is attacking you, instead of trying to resist it and hold still, you flow back with the movement, and that throws them off balance. Tai Chi is Chinese, and it's a series of movements. There are several different styles, and within each of those styles are a set of forms, or like a routine of different movements that flow into each other. The focus isn't on breaking boards or kicking somebody's ass, but it's about spirituality, community, and working on your internal self. A class can include not only practicing the forms, the movements, but I've been in some where there was a tea ceremony afterwards, and we sat around and hung out and chatted. So it was very building. It was very cool. It was fun. Now, Qigong, according to the National Qigong Association, Qigong can be described as a mind-body-spirit practice that improves one's mental and physical health by integrating posture, movement, breathing technique, self-massage, sound, and focused intent. I've done some Qigong classes. Yeah, and that was hard because she had us turn around so I couldn't see what I was doing. I was totally lost. But I think I like Tai Chi and Qigong as movement exercises, as movement, as to balance energy. But they both have meditative impacts, aspects. Qigong and Tai Chi have meditative aspects. They focus on different things though, with Qigong meditation plays a more significant role in Qigong. And the focus is on combining the various movements with these breathing exercises. Tai Chi also has a meditative aspect, but those forms and poses are more body oriented. So I remember working on balance, which I still need work on. Okay, and then I mentioned yoga, and a lot of folks use yoga. It is a practice that one can do at home or in a class, practice is the part that got me hung up on. You don't, if unless you're going every day, you're not. You need to remember what it is you're doing, or get with a qualified instructor, somebody you feel comfortable with. Again, it uses a flow of body movements and it opens energy centers. It improves your flexibility in a really gentle manner. And it does have a meditative approach, and it does use specific breathing techniques. So that's it right now, but I haven't even scratched the surface on energy healing and energy medicines. But if you've listened to me enough, you know that you understand that the universe is vast. It's all encompassing, and limitations are just a human construct. If you're interested in hearing about other modalities, I can make it happen. I could do a thing. Yeah, okay. So remember, Monday I'm going to post a meditation, sort of kind of meditation about working with energy, and it will help you get used to the idea. I want to encourage you to get used to the idea of being able to direct energy. And yeah, I'll be fine. I'm going to need both hands for my YouTube broadcast on that one, so we're probably going to have to find another setup. But until then, I love you. Until next time, blessings.